So now let us discuss what is internal energy of a system. We know that the temperature of a body is directly proportional to average kinetic energy of particles of the body. The molecules of the system, here the system means body or substance, have different forms of energy such as linear kinetic energy, rotational kinetic energy, vibrational energy and potential energy between the molecules of a substance or a body. The total energy of the system is called internal energy of a system. When we supply heat energy to the system or the body or the substance, the heat energy gives to it will be shared by the molecules among the various forms of energy. This sharing will vary from substance to substance. The rise in temperature is high for a substance if the maximum share of heat energy is utilized for increasing its linear kinetic energy. Already we know that kinetic energy is directly related to absolute temperature. This sharing of heat energy of the system always varies with the temperature. That is the reason why the specific heat is different for different substances. So let us discuss what is specific heat capacity. Let's understand the definition. The specific heat capacity of a substance is the amount of energy required to raise the temperature of 1 kg of a substance by 1 degree Celsius. Here, specific heat capacity is represented with C. The specific heat of a substance is the amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature of 1 kg of a substance by 1 degree Celsius. Here C is equal to delta E by m delta theta, where the unit of C is joule per kg degree Celsius. When you observe the formula, what is that? C is equal to delta E by m delta theta, whereas specific heat capacity and change in temperature are inversely related to each other. To understand the table, we have to remember specific heat is more or high than the rate of temperature or change in temperature will be low. That is, both specific heat and change in temperature are inversely related to each other. That is the reason water has a wide applications. As water has a high specific heat capacity as it takes long time to heat and long time to cool down. So water is used as a coolant in the car radiators. Due to its high specific heat capacity, it can absorb a large amount of heat energy from the engine of the car, but its temperature does not rise too high. And one more reason is the water is at low cost and it is available easily. That is the reason water is used in the car radiators. Next, the other form of water is when you supply heat energy, water changes to vapor. That means it is steam. So steam has more specific heat than the water. That is the reason it is used to carry a lot of heat energy at high pressures to run railway engines. Next comes the water in swimming pool remains cool even in summer and people enjoy a lot of staying inside the pool due to high specific heat of water. Water is also used in houses in the cold climate countries because as it is heated up, boiled, it tends to retain heat and warm the house due to its high specific heat capacity. Here you have to understand that more is the specific heat capacity, the change in temperature will be very less. That means it retains more time of hotness in the substance. Here the water. Due to this high specific heat capacity of water, more of the aquatic life also can be survived. Utensils used for making tea or coffee or cooking vegetables or rice are made up of materials of low specific heat. They are polished at the bottom so they are heated up very easily and quicker also. For example, like copper vessels and aluminium vessels. Like frying pans, pots, kettles, and so on heat up quickly even with a small amount of heat is supplied to them, so that there will be a high change in temperature for the substance or the material which is there in that particular vessel. Next is the handles of utensils at home are made up of materials which have very high specific heat. They act as insulators which indirectly depends on specific heat of a material. When you observe the clinical thermometer, the instrument like clinical thermometer, the body is made up of higher specific heat, whereas the tip is made up of low specific heat. The last one is the materials with a high specific heat capacity can be used as insulator. For example, wood has a high specific heat. Wooden houses will keep keep inside cooler in summer. Now, still more, we have applications of specific heat capacity where the sun delivers a large amount of energy to the earth daily. The water sources on earth, particularly the oceans, absorb this energy for maintaining a relatively constant temperature. The oceans behave like heat or storehouses for the earth. They can absorb large amount of heat at the equator without appreciable rise in temperature due to high specific heat of water. So oceans moderate the surrounding temperature near the equator. As ocean water transport the heat away from the equator to the areas closer to north and south poles. The watermelon brought out from a refrigerator retains its coolness for a longer time than any other fruit because it contains a large percentage of water, as water has a greater specific heat capacity. Samosa appears to be cool outside, but it is hot when we eat it because the curry inside the samosa contains ingredients with higher specific heat. Now coming to the method of mixtures, here we have to discuss three situations. Let us discuss first situation. In the first situation, you have to consider two beakers of same size, that means having same volume. And you have to pour 200 ml of water in each of them. Now heat the water in both the beakers till they attain the same temperature. If you pour this water from these two beakers into a large beaker, what temperature could you expect the mixture to be? The temperature of the mixture remains the same, that is nothing but whatever the temperature attained by two beakers at 200 ml of water. What would be the reason for the fact you observed here? The reason is nothing but the masses are same and rise in temperature is same because in both the beakers the water is the substance what we have taken. Now discuss about the second situation. Now heat the water in one beaker to 90 degrees Celsius and the other to 60 degrees Celsius. Now mix both these two beakers water into a large beaker. What will be the temperature of the mixture? One beaker is at 90 degrees Celsius, the other beaker is at 60 degrees Celsius. If you add both 90 plus 60, that gives you 150. So that was divided by 2. That gives you 75 degrees Celsius. So the measure of the temperature of the mixture will be 75 degrees Celsius. In situation 1, volume is same. In situation 2, temperatures of the two beakers are different. Now we are going to discuss situation 3. In situation 3, you have to consider 100 ml of water at 90 degrees Celsius and 200 ml of water at 60 degrees Celsius and mix the two beakers water into a large beaker. Situation, we have two different volumes, and two different volumes means here we have to consider as mass, and two different temperatures. In general, what we have to take is, let the initial temperatures of the samples of masses m1 and m2 be T1 and T2. Here you have to note down the higher of the two temperatures be T1 and the lower of the two temperatures be T2, and capital T will be the final temperature of the mixture. This capital T will be lower than the higher temperature, that means here T1, and higher than the temperature, here T will be higher than T2. The temperature of the mixture is lower than the temperature of the hotter sample but higher than the temperature of colder sample. That means hot sample has lost heat but the cold sample has gained heat. So here T1 is is hotter sample, T2 is colder sample, where T exists between T1 and T2. So T is less than T1 whereas T is greater than T2. Please note down this point. So coming for the derivation, the amount of heat lost by the hotter sample Q1 is equal to M1 S T1 minus T. As we know the equation, general equation, Q is equal to Ms delta T. So the amount of heat gained by the cooler sample Q2 is equal to M2S T minus T2. Why I have considered Q1 is equal to M1S T1 minus T, because T is less than T1. Q2 is equal to M2S T minus T2 because T is greater than T2. So, heat lost by the hotter sample is equal to the heat gained by the cooler sample. We have to assume here no heat is lost to the surroundings. Q1 is equal to Q2, which can be written as M1S times of T1 minus T, that is equal to M2S times of T minus T2, which can be simplified as T is equal to M1 T1 plus M2 T2 by M1 plus M2. So by this we have to go with the definition of principle of method of mixtures. When two or more bodies at different temperatures are brought into thermal contact, the net heat lost by the hot body is equal to the net heat gained by the cold body until and unless they attain thermal equilibrium. In this process we have to remember that no heat is lost to the surrounding. That means the system should be isolated. That is, net heat loss is equal to net heat gain in general. So this net heat loss is equal to net heat gain we have to remember as principle of method of mixtures.